For the final time this season, the drivers of the IORA Cup Series have taken to the starting grid, and tonight it will be a gamble for the championship. It will be 3 drivers in contention, mathematically speaking. River Page and Sean Conklin, your front row, alongside Daniel Mosteller, who starts in 6th tonight. 3 drivers have a chance to come home with the championship at the end of the day. Only one will come through as your title winner as we head to our final round of the campaign. This is the Season 4 finale 150, a 100-lap, 150-mile event at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and all 11 drivers who have registered for tonight's event have already lined up on the starting grid. With that being said, looks like already going to be some troubles with Sean Conklin, one driver going backwards as we get going on our first pace lap of the night. Great to have you all watching live again at FTN. I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. I'll be commentating and producing through all of tonight's racing, and we'd love to have you all watching from start to finish. The title battle will end here and now tonight, and after 100 laps time, we'll know whether or not Mosteller comes home a champion. If Conklin holds on to the points lead he already has, or if River Page does the unthinkable and pulls through as the underdog. Brief look at your starting grid for tonight's event. It's Page and Conklin who are first. They both took end-of-line penalties, promoting James Thurston to their pole position. Alexander Balearis also goes to the end of the line. Michael Cormetis looks to be behind Thurston now, with Daniel Mosteller registered as the 6th place driver in qualifying, then 7th to Vincent Guecci, 8th to Henry Kaloff, 9th to Oliver Quinney, what may be his final start as an IORA Cup Series driver, and Aiden Walker then in 10th. Last of which, Casey Bentz, who's the 11th and final driver on your starting grid tonight. The iRacing official pace car is set to drop in this time by and let the field get to work. A season finale most anticipated at one of the best intermediates in all of stock car racing. The hard left turn made by the pace car will leave the field in the hands of James Thurston. Let's do it one more time in Season 4. The great flag is out. We're here to crown a champion. Welcome to Las Vegas. At the line, James Thurston maintains his advantage as our effective pole sitter for tonight's race. It's going to be now Thurston in first. Demos is going to be on the high side fighting for second. And your most recent winner at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's Michael Cormetis fighting there in second. Already going to be aggression all around the track from top to bottom. Drivers choosing different lines as Demos will send it 3 wide. 3 lanes battling for the race lead. Looks like Mosteller doesn't get it that time through, and it goes back in the hands of James Thurston, but already hard fighting up in front, which gives way to a bit of a break for James as he'll get now much further ahead of his competition. Quarter of a second advantage now as they're side by side for second. Daniel Mosteller not expected to complete tonight's event as he did last week, leaving early to continue his quest in the Drive Smart campaign of races, which will be broadcasted on Marconi Entertainment. Mosteller came home 3rd at Daytona, with anticipation being that he can continue some success there as he tries to go for the double. He knows tonight finishing would be unlikely. So right now, Mosteller lies in the 4th position, giving River Page the room down low. And River, who won last week and has now won 2 consecutive FTN broadcasts, looks to go for a hat trick to end the season, as it's now going to be the number 24 barreling down the back straightaway, running in second if he can just get it under Michael Cormetis. Mikey's got the room and tries to keep the advantage, but they're beating and banging up to the top of the wall, and no inch to spare. It's going to be neck and neck as Page is going to drive Mikey up to the wall. This will send him 3 wide and give Vincent Guecci the room to take the runner-up spot. Catbird's seat is now in the hands of Vincent Guecci, and it looks like Vinny's going to be able to move right back in. River Page is running right now in 4th, whereas Sean Conklin is 1 lap down, and he is in 11th, so this could be jeopardy for Conklin's championship run. He came into the night as your points leader, as he's been for almost all of the campaign. However, he only has himself an advantage of what looks to be 26 points. But the caution will fly for River Page, and River looks to have damage. Number 24 brings out the yellow flag, and your driver tonight, second in the championship standing, will go round. Yellow flag is out. Here's an instant replay as we will turn back the clock 30 seconds and find out what happened. And it looks like continuously Page and Cormenis getting into each other. Then Daniel Mosteller lays a bumper on him, and River ends up with Aiden Walker. Demos going to get involved there, and two of your championship competitors getting involved with some minor contact. Takes Page up to the wall. Mosteller going to lose time, and just like that, caution is out. First of the race, and it's going to be River Page who loses the most, and Sean Conklin, the big winner, back on the lead lap. And just like that, we are now going to be under yellow for the first time. Coming down through pit road, it's going to be Daniel Mosteller leading, and that's because he's the only driver not to take it through the pits. It's James Thurston now who overall leads the pit cycle. Then it's going to be Vincent Guecci, who's second on pit road, Michael Cormenis in third, and so on and so forth now as every driver makes it into the respective pit stall. Alexander Balderas, who was set to start up in front, took an end-of-line penalty, loses big time, as does River Page, as he's going to miss his stall. It's Thurston out ahead of Vincent Guecci, then Casey Bentz, and Alexander Balderas now climbs back into the top 5 after a stint on pit road. Just like that, got some changes as the number 95 is set to return to the front of the field. Multiple drivers taking end-of-line penalties to start tonight's event, and of course most notably was Sean Conklin, who ended up one lap down. In addition, of course, the rest of your front row losing big time. Alexander Balderas setting himself back to the end of the field as he took an end-of-line penalty that gave way to James Thurston leading early, and he led off a pit road, but now he's behind Daniel Mosteller as Demos leads the way. It's the 87, your leading driver, and it's going to be for the final time this season. Mosteller running a Ford Mustang, and paint scheme provided by Andrew Schulte, leading once again. It's the 87 up in front in potentially his final lap. He'll go down to pit road this time by, bring Sean Conklin there with him. Aiden Walker also set to go in one more time, and you can see now your points leader making his way in. The Ryco Performance, number 54, with 5 victories on the season, the most of any driver, and he looks to have that firmly locked down. A fantastic opening of the campaign, where in the first 7 races he won 4 times over. So absolutely a dominant run this season for Sean Conklin. Now the question is whether he can finish it off, as he's going to go in for some extra service. Same goes for Daniel Mosteller, just a few car lengths behind. Walker's now going to get on the roll as Aiden Walker gets on the way. He'll be behind Sean Conklin, as now with 2 laps to green, James Thurston leads from Vincent Guecci, and Casey Bentz then in third. Casey coming off most recently a successful run to the Pocono Raceway, 7 laps short of fuel. However, if the strategy played out, Bentz would have been able to cruise to an easy race victory. And now a bit more confidence for this team as they head into the final leg of the campaign. For Casey Bentz, there's now an opportunity to consistently fight for top 5s, top 10s, and an abundance of which in the last leg of the tour. As it stands, this number 36, Casey Bentz, definitely wants to keep that momentum rolling and keep the speeds high, as he's played some very interesting strategy calls, and most recently at Pocono, it almost paid off. But there's a lot to learn for the 36. It's his part-time campaign. Hopefully we'll see a rookie full-time campaign from him in Season 5, as he's one of the newcomers that's coming to the IORA Cup Series and become a regular as of recent. In addition, you see guys like Henry Kaloff. He's a rookie this season, and overall, when it comes to the Manufacturers Championship, the most points scored by any driver for the Chevy Camaro breed is Henry Kaloff, and he leads even Daniel Mosteller, because Mosteller has chosen to take Fords and Toyotas for the rest of the season. The number 63 Curb Records machine runs now in the 6th spot, and will go down to the bottom side on Michael Cormenis and his Coca-Cola Chevrolet. It's going to be, though, a bunch of blue ovals up in front. James Thurston, in addition, Vincent Guecci, they're your top 2, with Alexander Balderas then in third, and Casey Bentz, the only driver running Toyota, up in front. He's going to be there now in fourth. Set to get back at it with the double digits. It's going to be lap 10 out of 100 here in Las Vegas. You're watching the Season 4 finale. It's a 150-mile race, 100 laps, and it comes down to 3 drivers right now of all those who are in championship contention. The most to gain, it would be Sean Conklin. He runs in 7th right now, and he has the advantage. He's hoping to lock down the championship tonight after what's been an overall especially dominant season. Now as the iRacing official pace car is set to drop down to pit road, it's going to be James Thurston, once again your race leader. Guecci then in 2nd, and Alexander Balderas then in 3rd. Dropping down to the inside line, here we go again. Restart number 1 of the night, and your championship race will get back into motion. Thurston leads the field as River Page sends it 3 wide, and the restart's going to have some chaos. We're back on our way from Sin City. It's going to be James Thurston once again with a jump, but now Alexander Balderas puts himself in the 2nd spot and nicely moves up into the catbird seat. It's going to be 3 wide further back in the field. You'll see Michael Cormetis and Daniel Mosteller going at it with Henry Kaloff up top, and from there on out, it's going to be, in addition, River Page going way down low. The number 24 drops down to the bottom side, tries to lunge through Cormetis, and these two have made contact already, and they seem to be racing each other a little bit rougher than most others. Now Demos drops down to the bottom of the track, and that could be his season as you look now at 165 miles an hour, much slower than the pack, but he recollects his number 87 and gets back in at top speed. However, that looks to be for a short period of time. Mosteller will drop down to the inside line and end his campaign. The 2-time champion looks to be ending prematurely his run for a 3rd title. An unfortunate end for Daniel Mosteller as he chases success for the rest of the night. Demos will bow out of Season 4 and end his run down on pit road. The overall most successful driver in IORA history will disconnect from the circuit and call it a night. James Thurston, though, will now be your race leader, and from one champion to another, your defending champion in James Thurston is back up at the head of the field. And for James Thurston, not the championship defense he'd like to have had. Now he's 4th in the championship standings and might be able to bump himself up into 3rd if all goes well tonight. However, not really in the championship conversation all season long. Really came down to Mosteller and Conklin, who ran away overall. Then, of course, Mosteller missing last week at Martinsville, almost a nail in the coffin, and he's going to end it truly tonight by disconnecting early. He will finish 11th and last when all is said and done. The Alexander Balderas is still running there in 2nd, and now looks to be a lot of raw pace from this number 95. We haven't seen much of all season long, just trying to execute. That's been the big issue for this number 95 team, and now they're hoping to put that to good work, all that they've learned, the lessons and the experience, as he now runs behind Thurston as James is set to win perhaps another championship event, and he won't come home as the champion. You might remember when Jacob Wilkerson won his FORL Cup Series championship just about a month ago. It was James Thurston, the man who won that race in dominant fashion. Now, Thurston was in a 1st round exit that season, wasn't able to contend for a championship. However, he's an ace at the Homestead Miami Speedway, and once again showed he has what it takes to compete at high level, even though I think, in all honesty, the eyes were not on him throughout that event. Thurston quietly took the lead and drove away from the field, and he looks to be trying just the same method again tonight as he leads once more 16 laps in out of 100. Balderas is going to continue fighting Sean Conklin. Let's take a look on board now with the number 95 machine as the fight persists between he and Sean Conklin. Looks like that time through, Conklin going to get that advantage, and it's going to be enough for the number 54 to pull further away. Just like that, it's going to be Balderas on the losing end, and he'll have to slip back into the draft and maybe get a bit more momentum from there. Here's a close battle, though. Michael Cormetis and Aiden Walker. As you'll see now, the number 93 machine can't be high, and it looks like he can't be low, but just about a 1/10 of a second away in the rear view mirror. The number 93 is chasing Mikey, and it looks like Kaloff now going to face the pressure as the number 63 machine dedicates himself to the top side. Cormetis drops down to the bottom, and they'll be neck and neck through 3 and 4 here. Taking a close look, Kaloff stays top, Cormetis drives down low. They'll be side by side at the line, and the advantage goes to Kaloff. Now looking through 1 and 2, that's where it could change, and it looks like now Vincent Guecci may be run down as Mikey makes another pass. It's going to be Cormetis up into 5th, and just like that, Henry Kaloff going to be dropping back into the 6th position. Those are the small moves that can change a driver's race. Already seeing some new drivers interacting with one another. And Michael Cormetis, his best lap, a 30.163 in the night so far. One of the fastest laps ran in this entire session. Matter of fact, it is the fastest lap so far tonight, and Mikey, one of the best drivers at Las Vegas, and he seems to be showing his expertise once more. Running in 4th, made it by Vincent Guecci, and now looking to get by Balderas. It is the Coca-Cola 25, looking to go for a back-to-back string of victories here in Sin City. Won it last season in a thrilling finish, came down to a late race caution, and Cormetis took it all from there. Now he's looking to go for 2 consecutive victories at this track. It's going to be tricky, though, because James Thurston and Sean Conklin are up in front, and if Conklin stays on the podium, he has mathematically, no matter what, locked up the Season 4 championship. Just like that, James Thurston has a bit of pressure. Now, we talked about Sean Conklin and his championship odds, and we talked about James Thurston's success at championship events, but now it looks like both of which are getting close to each other and closer even quicker, because Conklin is gaining time, and so is Michael Cormetis, beating and banging. Balderas gets sent up top, and Michael Cormetis is trying to find room. He makes the room and forces himself down low, but it looks like they're going to be knocking into each other a bit more as they're side by side again. Balderas doesn't get the run he needs. Now it looks like they'll still be side by side through turns 3 and 4. However, once again, much like with River Page, Michael Cormetis finds trouble and he's going to have to stay on the bottom side if he wants to get around this number 95. Balderas up on the top groove, now down to the apron. There goes Mikey, trying to find room, but just hasn't found the perfect getaway, as it looks like the McDonald's Chevy Camaro is keeping him honest each and every lap. Up to the higher side of the track and nearly running out of room for Alexander Balderas. He'll stay right up top, slowly but surely get away, and now it's going to be Mikey left back and forth. All that momentum might be crashing down now if Balderas can keep defending, but it's going to be a major risk, because it looks like they're also losing time to guys like Vincent Guecci, River Page, and even Walker, all of which look to be quicker in the battle here for the 3rd spot. And just like that, Vinny makes another move, keeps himself in 4th. And River Page is right there. River's going to take it 3 wide. Now Aiden Walker up top, driving all the way down, nearly to the apron. River Page goes, and he secures another position as Michael Cormetis does eventually get into 3rd. So another spot going to be made up there, and Michael Cormetis now has himself the 3rd position. And the podium getting even closer up ahead. Conklin trying to get by James Thurston. He's right on the back bumper here. And that Ford Mustang trying to get away. But it looks like it's all efforts that may turn to fruitless efforts if Conklin can find that room and make that charge. But right now, the room doesn't seem to be available to any driver. It's going to be James Thurston putting on a fantastic defensive effort as he pursues a race victory. So far, Conklin hasn't found his way through the 4. Looking further back, it's going to be Aiden Walker, and he's going to be working right now with River Page, and Page is no stranger to making those aggressive moves to take spots and run away with position. Right now, it looks like he's running inside of the 6th spot and trying to get back up into the top 5, but that's, of course, if you can get through Aiden Walker here, with Walker up on the top, Alexander Balderas working low. It looks like Page might be quicker than the both of them here, but just has not found a way around Walker until now. And just like that, quickly gets by the number 93. Alexander Balderas is going to be just ahead, and he's several tenths quicker than this number 95. So Page goes up top, using the momentum of the higher groove to carry him down the straightaways. And it has been very successful so far. Page makes another pass, Rivers up in a 4th, and now chases down Michael Cormetis as he looks to be about a tenth half quicker than Mikey and James Thurston. Not to mention, just about a second quicker than your race leader. So it's big time winning for Page in terms of pace as two drivers slide down. Balderas and Aiden Walker. Now the number 95 out of control as the yellow flag is flying for the second time tonight. Caution is out again, and the trouble will find itself once more with Alexander Balderas. It's going to be trouble lying in the number 95. Caution is out. Here's another instant replay. As you will see, it's going to be Balderas chasing down River Page, trying to get back up to that number 24, and that's when the trouble begins. Guecci going to get a bit loose coming off the corner, and that's going to tap Balderas, and Balderas going to lose a lot of speed off exit, get close enough to Walker, where that little bobble makes all the difference. Caution is out again. Number 95 of Alexander Balderas is involved, and we have brought ourselves back to pacing for the second time tonight. James Thurston leads, Sean Conklin is in second, and Michael Cormenis is in third. River Page then going to be fourth, Oliver Quinney is in fifth, and Vincent Guecci is in sixth, with Walker now seventh as he pulls himself back into frame. 10 drivers are still going. It's 8th Henry Kaloff, 9th Casey Bentz, and Alexander Balderas now finds himself with the field as he currently runs in the 10th position. Last of which on the lead lap, as James Thurston is set to make his decision, come down to pit road or stay on the track. It looks like the call unanimously will be to go down to pit road and get some more tires, get some newer fuel, and get back on the way, as it's going to be a refresh and a reload for the entire pack. Pit road is busy once again. Here we go with James Thurston leading them in. It's going to be Thurston, Conklin, Cormenis, your podium coming into pit road. Let's see how much that changes. And this is going to be a big shift in the strategy once again, about a quarter of the way through, so we got a lot of time still remaining. However, an early development like this could set the tone for a driver like Page or Thurston, and we'll see who gets the edge now. It's going to be jumping off of pit road first, Oliver Quinney, the man who wins off of pit road, then going to be just at the line. Looks like a lunging Sean Conklin gets it over Thurston. Page is in fourth, and Aiden Walker will round out the top five. Very close between Sean Conklin and James Thurston, and take a look at that. Conklin gets the edge. Looks like Michael Cormenis right now not going to be inside the cockpit, and he might be returning very soon, getting some extra damage repaired, or getting some extra service, because you don't see him on the track. However, everyone else gets off pit road, and just like that, it's the dark horse number 54 back with the race lead, and that lunge off of pit road is all he needed. And just like that, Conklin is your leader, 29 laps in out of 100. And right now, your championship leader is your race leader. It's all Sean Conklin once again. James Thurston's led the most of this race so far. However, it's going to be up to the number 54 to maybe get away now with an opportunity as he'll head down to the bottom side. Shoes rules in effect for what will be your second restart of the night. Yellow flag is out. 30 laps in out of 100, and it is Sean Conklin, James Thurston, and Aiden Walker, your podium heading into this one. River Page is now once again on the second row. Alexander Balderas drops back to the third row here with Vincent Guecci concluding the top five. And see now, it looks like Michael Cormenis disconnected due to connection troubles. Of course, we've seen this before, so unfortunately in his best track, Michael Cormenis is going to see some trouble, and he's going to go at least one lap down as a result. 30 laps in out of 100, yellow flag flying for the second time tonight, and we will head back to the green flag at the end of lap 30, as it's going to be the dark horse up in front. Sean Conklin, your championship leader, looking to get it done and come through with another victory, a final victory to cap off the season. Going to lead on the inside line. Then it's going to be James Thurston in second, Aiden Walker in third, and River Page there in fourth. 9 drivers on the track right now, and they'll get ready to roll. Of course, the flag is waved. The green is going to go in the air once again, and we'll be back racing in Las Vegas, Nevada. The iRacing official pace car drops in. Conklin's got control, and the green flag will fly once again. Green flag is out for restart number 2, and your championship leader has control of the field. Conklin gets the jump, but they're side by side from there on out. It's going to be neck and neck, Aiden Walker and James Thurston, and already they're going to be fighting each other double file as they come back down the back straightaway. Going to be now going down low, Aiden Walker with that bottom side. He's controlling it nicely, but James Thurston with momentum won't have to worry much about it. Taking a look up top for James Thurston, setting himself up for a good string of laps. It's going to be all about whether or not he uses that momentum nicely, because now River Page is up there, and we've seen what Page can do with that middle side and making it work as opposed to the top and the bottom. It looks like the second groove worked well for River, and the high side gives way to James Thurston. Thurston back in second with no debate, and they're all stacked up through 3 and 4. Balderas is going to have to lose a bit of time here, sliding back to get off the bumper of River Page, and a very close maneuver there as even Vincent Guecci gets inside the top 5. Balderas is now going to be running in the 6th position. Casey Benz is going to be now just about a spot away, and it's going to be Casey trying to get back with the main pack as Henry Kaloff and Oliver Quinney see some trouble, whereas Sean Conklin has the edge. But it could be James Thurston taking that away. There goes Thurston down to the bottom side, and a third of the way in, looking to get the race lead back. There goes James Thurston, and it looks like the number 4 once again is on top, and nice and smooth pass there for James Thurston as he gets back to your race lead. But Aiden Walker's now there as well, and with Aiden going down to the bottom side, it could be neck and neck between the 4 and the number 93. Walker looking for his first win this season. He has still not found victory lane in this campaign. However, what a way it would be to get that first victory on the final night of the season. There's a chance now for Walker to come through and get it done. When it all comes down to the end of the season, some drivers tend to have their best performances late, and for Aiden Walker, that might just be the case. Now the number 93, hoping to get racing redemption, has not been able to find his way to victory lane all season long. For the high banks of Daytona, the road course thrills, the short track that we've gone to as well, anything and everything in between, Walker's been fighting to find that opportunity, but now he gets sifted up high, and it might be a fight to stay inside the podium as Conklin gets into second. River Page is going to be looking for third, and River's got a bit of a push and shove from that number 95. Balderas takes him 3 once again and lets loose on the bottom, while River Page covers and protects and puts himself back on the low groove. 36 laps in, out of 100, and the field is all conjoined once again. Casey Benz is getting up to the back bumper of Balderas, and the number 36 is back with the main pack. And you'll see now coming out of turn 4, it's going to be that number 36 at the stripe leading the way when it comes to the battle for 7th, because Kaloff is not close enough just yet. Everyone getting stacked up as Page is set to go 3, and there he does. River Page takes it 3 wide, and Guecci's nearly at the wall and will come back up. Now one driver in the wall, that's Vincent Guecci. He's going to spin himself out, and the call for the yellow flag looks to be unanswered. Vincent Guecci's going to be stalled, and you'll see our cameras get frozen too. Vinny's going to be out of control, but gets back going as he's going to be now far out of contention. Guecci got in the wall, immediately got right back out of it, and that might have been what cost him there. An immediate reaction to get rolling once again. Here's a look at it once more. You'll see the number 24 machine of Vincent Guecci running up to the high side of the track, and he's going to end up wiggling immediately out and taking himself down to the bottom side. Just like that, Guecci out of control, finds trouble, and he's now going to be 9th and last of those still driving as we get back going 38 laps in. The action won't stop for a single car spin, and James Thurston is going to see in the back of his rearview mirror there's still some fighting going on between he, of course, Walker, and River Page. Neck and neck once again as it looks to be foggier skies now coming down the back straightaway. Looks like the weather getting a bit hectic here in Las Vegas. Balderas gonna now beat and bang with the number 93. Walker's got trouble. Balderas is in the wall, and it looks like now it's gonna be Balderas coming very close to that number 93 again. Walker holds on to the bottom side, and Aiden's gonna keep that advantage through turns 1 and 2. Now it's gonna be up to Balderas to maybe make something happen with the momentum off exit, but Aiden Walker, keeping him honest here, has not been able to make any moves so far, and it looks like only until the end of the straightaway. Balderas held back no longer, and just like that, another move made for the McDonald's machine as he chases a podium run if he can get back up now to River Page, who currently runs in third. James Thurston is still going to lead. Sean Conklin is going to run once again in the second position. And a runner-up right now for Conklin. He had race leading speed earlier, got back to the race lead on pit road, and all of a sudden looks close once again. We can't say for certain whether or not he'll get back up there. There's still more than half of this race remaining, and with that being said, weather conditions are definitely changing. So let's take a look at our weather right now and find out what's going on. Partly cloudy skies, Vegas, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That is your overall air temperature. However, track temperature as it stands comes in at a sizzling 95 degrees, and then from there your humidity very, very low with winds northbound at 2 miles an hour. Track temperature is really the deciding factor though. Your air temperature at 78, very, very moderate. However, with drivers going at speeds of over 180 miles an hour all throughout the track, the difference really comes down to how much rubber they're laying down and how much warmer the track gets. And right now, as we get back into a longer run with fewer cars on the track, meaning most often more green flag laps, we're going to see warmer track temperatures. So almost at the triple digit marker in terms of our Fahrenheit and on the track temp, we might hit it as the race goes on because rubber means heat, and heat will be applied to the track and it will be absorbed, which means it's going to become even harder to keep the grip in your tire. And that might explain some setbacks right now as Alexander Balderas slowly begins to slide to the rear of the field. Balderas, one of the drivers who pushed really hard in the opening run of this segment, and he got himself out to a podium start, at least starting up there in the top 3 in the early laps of the run. He's going to find himself further back, running in 5th right now, and he could be contested for that 5th spot because Henry Kaloff has speed and might be able to make a move here. Kaloff gets blocked, can't go down to the apron, not enough time to make the move. At 45 laps in out of 100, it looks like Balderas now going to have to defend from the back of the field here. Oliver Quinney, he's out of the main pack as it looks like he had trouble of his own and now runs 12 seconds back. And Vincent Guecci, we know what happened with Vinny, he now runs 18 seconds behind. Michael Cormenis disconnected. Same goes for Daniel Mosteller, and it's going to be James Thurston leading the way. 45 laps in, make it 46, and that is out of 100. Sean Conklin second, River Page third, Aiden Walker fourth, and Alexander Balderas then in 5th. The number 95 rounds out your top 5 as it stands. It's going to be Kaloff then 6th, and Benz then 7th. Quinney, Guecci, those are your final 2. And the full rundown of the field shows you it's already a race of attrition here with the amount of drivers remaining in the single digits. Every lap matters, and every driver knows that this is it. Only 50-odd more laps to show what you got in store. And right now, 2 of the best in this series are once again up ahead. Your Season 3 champion and the man who might just be crowned as your Season 4 champion when all is said and done, Sean Conklin running in 2nd, but River Page is hoping to make sure that Conklin knows we aren't done just yet. And if there is a catastrophe for Conklin, if he disconnects from the session and falls back to 9th, River Page still has a chance if he can come home and win this race. However, he would need a perfect storm of events, of course, with only 9 drivers remaining. If anyone else disconnects from the session before Sean Conklin, Conklin will be crowned your champion, mathematically speaking, and the only thing he'll have to wait for is, of course, the checkered flag. A podium would lock it up. One more disconnection would lock it up as well. For the Ryco Performance number 54, the amount of time until that championship is crowned is slim. The margin of error, very slim as well. It really would take a catastrophic event and maybe even a disqualification for Conklin to really lose time. But I think now, for this number 54, nothing else he can do except keep on rolling till the end, knowing how far he's come, coming to the final race, now nearly halfway in. There's only 51 more laps to go after this point. And James Thurston will lead the field down again to the final halfway point of the night. We've come through almost every race of this campaign so far, and we've had a solid idea of who's been up in front race after race. And once again, looks to be a top two battle we'll keep an eye out for all night long between James Thurston and Sean Conklin. They've already run away and have a substantial gap compared to guys like Page and Walker and Balderas. And you can see right now, Balderas is going to be hounded by Casey Bentz, and Casey now looking for a top 5 finish, getting very close to the back bumper. They're going way up high. Balderas continues trying to block, does it once, twice, but can't get around to that third time, and as such, it's going to be Bentz in the number 36 running up top. Alexander Balderas going to be in the bottom groove, and down the Nellis straightaway, it's going to be the 36 machine of Bentz, who has that top side and works the groove quite nicely. There goes Alexander Balderas on the bottom though. You can see now that number 95 is going to be in the picture again. They're beating and banging once more. Balderas lays down low, tries to keep the optimal line, but they once again make contact, and it looks to be more and more obvious they are not fighting each other on the racetrack. Bentz has the edge right now. As we take a look back up in front, he's got clean air ahead of him, but just needs to get by Balderas, and it looks like right now his left side is clear. Working down low, Casey Bentz has made his way up into 5th. And although he's now going to have that spot, he goes way up high, and Balderas gets it right back. And that is the back and forth nature of racing. As you see now, Bentz falling back 2 spots, as it's going to be now Henry Kaloff contending with Balderas as the number 95 machine wiggles big. Kaloff gets the spot, and just like that, the 63 makes it into the top 5 with Casey Bentz still going for it. It's going to be a huge block there for the number 95 machine. Casey still trying to find room here, but as he goes down to the bottom side, he's going to wash up big, and so does Balderas. Henry Kaloff really gets the best out of all of it, as he was choosing to be a bit more relaxed as he approached the battle, let everything subside naturally, and as such, now it's Kaloff inside the top 5 as opposed to Balderas or Casey Bentz. Both drivers falling back further, and it looks like that's going to end the battle as soon as it started. Now we're looking back up front again to Sean Conklin and James Thurston, and 54 laps in, it's the 54 machine, who's just a 1/10 of a second away from gaining that race lead. Hasn't quite found the opportunity to do so just yet, and it's still Thurston holding it full throttle up ahead. Now we can take a look inside the cockpit of the number 4 of James Thurston, see exactly what's going on, and take a look at what he's looking at right here in the rear view mirror, blocked by our timing screen and our timing ticker on the broadcast. But you'll see 5th gear backing it down to about 7,800 revs a minute, then putting it back into full-on power through the front straightaway and getting it all the way up to the highest highs of gear number 5. 5 gears in these next-gen stock cars, and using every one of which in some tracks. Here in Vegas, not quite. So it's going to be a very simple layout, just running as quick as possible, just under 8,000 revs a minute, no matter where you are on the circuit. And it's James Thurston still fighting here as he maintains a race lead. That time by was a 30.949 as opposed to a 39.64. As he comes down to the stripe yet again, James Thurston sets up 30.952, nearly an identical lap to his previous. And Sean Conklin was only about 1/100th of a second quicker. So very close times overall between the two drivers, and they continue to race each other close compared to anyone else. Nobody's gotten there just yet, but River Page is beginning to make time, and it looks like that time through actually about 1/2 faster overall, and might be able to crack the 30.8s the way he's going at the line. It's going to be for River Page, a 30.844, and as we said, he looks to be about 1/10 of a second quicker now than his adversaries up in front. So Page is fast, and once again, that second groove has been the best place to go all night long. And it's Page looking to get the spots he's desperately desired up in front. It's the 24, and he's got speed now running in the podium. Then from there, you'll see Sean Conklin is going to be in second, of course, and James Thurston in first. But Rivers gained big, and at the line, 30.904. Once again, 1/10 of a second faster, and it could be 2 consecutive River Page wins to end the season if all goes well for him now. He's got the speed to pull it off. Now just has to execute, as he's got 2 big passes to make. How about we take a lap on board right now with your fastest driver River Page in the middle of our race-leading battle. At the line for River Page, that was a 30.02431, that is, as we see now coming down to pit road, Casey Benson. It's going to be now dropping down to the bottom side. Casey Benson making the move, and it could be the first and only run of green flag pit stops all night long. Benz comes in, so does the number 73 machine, it looks to be, of Oliver Quinney, and just like that, pit road going to get busy for the first time under green as your leaders will fly by. Once again, James Thurston now going to put that Vincent Guecci machine one lap down. Vinny's going to fade back, and River now going to be neck and neck with him, as you'll see that number 24 try to get away from Guecci. Looks to be now bumper to bumper between the two, and Guecci tries to spin River, and it will not work out. Guecci's going to find himself locked down and goes down a pit road. Just like that, Vincent Guecci's opportunity at revenge falls flat. We've got ourselves trouble on the track. Vincent Guecci gets involved there with River Page, and you're going to see it once again here as we'll take a look back on the action. 09 machine of Vincent Guecci right up top there, and he's going to be with River Page side by side, and it looks like tries to turn in here. Page is going to block him with the bumper, and right at the wall. That's the worst place to go for at least any type of revenge, let alone the quick thinking of right hooking or left hooking. Doesn't quite work out for Vinny there, and he will drop down to the inside of the track, and River Page not happy, so that seems to be the insinuation. It was indeed a methodical plan to maybe make something happen, maybe shake up the order. And as such, Conklin's got a shot on the second groove. Lane number 2 will come alive with James Thurston neck and neck there with Sean Conklin. They'll be side by side now coming down the back straightaway. It's going to be Conklin with the advantage, and he will clear River Page and James Thurston alike. Thurston's now going to be running in second, hoping to get back up there, but there's going to be a very slim opportunity if River's going to box him out. Now they're side by side again, and River Page has himself in the second spot, trying to work into the middle groove. He's going to get quicker than James Thurston clearly through the middle of the corner and getting out of there. The exit's going to be nice for the number 24. Once again, makes the move, and he will drive away. It's going to be River Page up into second now. Nice and smooth there for the number 24. Sean Conklin is going to be in the first position, leading the way 65 laps in out of 100. Just like that, it's going to be, once again, Conklin up ahead. Battle for second is going to give way to River Page now having the runner-up spot. Smooth moves, best decisions made so far tonight, getting up in front of the field with track position and working on higher lines. Looks like so far the second and third group, thanks to the dynamic track refresh on iRacing, have given way to a much more optimal method of driving throughout each and every circuit and their surface, not only on the bottom side but using multiple grooves. And that seems to be exactly the case right now, as you'll see drivers getting off of the bottom of the track, instead trying to go other places on the circuit. It's Vincent Guecci once again looking for trouble here, and it looks like he gets backed up to both Conklin and River Page, and you're going to have to keep an eye on what happens here, as you'll see Page down low, side by side there with Conklin, and he has to keep on moving because Guecci does have newer tires, and this could be troublesome not only for Page, but also for Sean Conklin. Everyone involved in this picture battling for lead is in jeopardy, and James Thurston is. Contact there with Thurston's going to give way to another incident, and Vincent Guecci, driving, of course, with a fury, is going to get another driver involved, and Thurston, who's still fighting for the win, gets in there, makes contact, and he's still not done just yet. Thurston will keep on fighting, but definitely going to be more challenging now as he gets damaged from the number 09, and Vincent Guecci will get very close, too close for comfort, and make some unnecessary contact there with James Thurston, while Sean Conklin is still your leader, 69 laps in. It's a nice course in defensive driving so far for Sean Conklin. He's been able to make every move exactly when it needs to be made in terms of defending the rest of the field off. He's been able to keep that lead no matter the pressure, and now Thurston goes down to the bottom side. He's looking for second despite the contact. He's not done just yet. And it looks like River Page might be showing signs of slowing up just a bit, but if we're going to see one more green flag pit cycle, these drivers have not gone down to pit road. It's not over by any means, and there goes Vincent Guecci getting close once again to the 24. Gets him into the wall and presses him big. Now they'll be neck and neck, beating and banging. Thurston goes down low and tries to take care of the problem. Vincent Guecci disconnected from the session, and there it goes. There's a problem, and it's now going to be Conklin going down to pit road. Two developments at once. Vincent Guecci is going to be removed for intentional wrecking, and it's going to be Sean Conklin down to pit road, and he will bring Aiden Walker. And here we have it, our final pit stop cycle of the season. Your championship leader makes it in, so does Aiden Walker, and now it's time to see a battle for lead between James Thurston and River Page. Page is going to opt to come down to pit road, this time by, going to be that number 24 on the way in. James Thurston is going to choose to stay out, and he will opt to go long this time through. Conklin's going to make his way in. So does Aiden Walker, as we mentioned. And now with River Page on the entry, it's going to be another driver on the way down to pit road. And with Page making his way in, he's going to try to keep the chance alive for a race win here, while James Thurston opts to stay out. And it looks like now Vincent Guecci is officially going to be in the 9th position. Thurston's going to rock back and forth to make it into pit road with a proper amount of speed. And just like that, Alexander Balderas would set himself up to take the race lead again. It's Balderas up ahead, and the number 95 is indeed out in front. New race leader Alexander Balderas. River Page is going to be getting back on his way, and just like that, it's going to be the number 95 leading from Thurston, who's going to be scored in second, and Henry Kaloff then in third. Taking it down and in, it's going to be the number 63 of Kaloff making the move as he goes down to pit road. Thurston is set to get on his way out, and now Alexander Balderas will get back on the way. Just like that, 73 laps in, make it 74. The 95 has the advantage. With Balderas leading just about a lap behind, now Sean Conklin is. The number 95 has the field at his mercy. If there was to be a yellow flag, there could be trouble for the rest of these guys, while Balderas might as well get himself a free pit stop. All of a sudden, the 95, much like Casey Bentz just a few weeks ago, has set himself up for potential success, big risk, big reward. And right now, for Balderas, he'd love to see that caution, but I don't think it'll be likely here. As you'll see, there's James Thurston, there's River Page, and they're going to be fighting three wide with Balderas here, as it's going to be the number 95 taking it high, and side by side, the number 24 way low. He'll keep it there. Thurston's going to be in the middle, and you can see now, side by side, they're still nowhere near Sean Conklin. Conklin's got a major advantage right now, and it looks to be all he needs to stay up in front, at least for the time being. We'll see how well it pays off, as Casey Bentz is going to be set for at least one position lost. If the pace for time stays the same, Casey came down to pit road early, went for another different strategy to maybe have an edge as the race goes on, but it looks like now he'll have to lose one spot to James Thurston, and Page, coming in hot as well, is set to take another at the line. He's not going to go for it just yet, but as they come to lap number 76 with 25 laps remaining, the final stretch, we'll see another battle. Bentz is trying to keep the car straight, and it looks like he'll go up top. Not enough speed right now, which will give River Page at least the 4th position, as the fight is still on to stay at the podium here. It's not done yet. River Page, though, has some work to do, as James Thurston breaks away just a bit more as a result of that separation. So Casey Bentz almost going to be a bit of a pick-off maneuver used there to have that number 36 stand in the middle of the battle, and as such, Page is going to lose some time. James Thurston definitely gets to the advantage, of course, in this battle. battle. And all of a sudden, Alexander Belair's 78 laps in leads the way. And with 23 laps to go this time by one last time this season, we will crank it up with the best camera providers on the iRacing market. TrackCams22.com with over 100 car and track combinations. TrackCams22.com is your one-stop shop for broadcasting needs, photography needs, and iRacing. The best cameras at the best prices. Check out TrackCams22.com as we will crank it up one final time this season with 22 laps remaining. And returning to the line with 15 laps remaining, it's going to be Sean Conklin ahead. One driver coming down a pit road. This time by it is Oliver Quinney. And now in the final stretch of this race, it's going to be another driver coming down for their final pit stop of the season. And just like that, everything has shaken up quite nicely in the hands of the number 54, Sean Conklin. He is your leader, and he has been your overall top driver all season long. And coming into tonight, 3 drivers were mathematically eligible to make things happen and potentially earn the championship victory. However, all eyes were on whether or not this Sean Conklin team could pull through as the championship favorite. Of course, coming in with a major advantage in points helps, but throughout this season, it's been evident this team has put on week after week the most consistent high-level performances, and now going for another victory to finish off the season. That would be, of course, the perfect way to end it, and now chasing victory one last time. It would be his 6th of the season, and the last opportunity he has to win, he'd love to go take it. Conklin, who won at Daytona, coming back after a half-season hiatus, of course, in the season prior, found himself in a position where he became one of the quickest drivers almost immediately, and almost foreshadowed in Season 3 during the Truck Series run when we ran temporarily with the Craftsman trucks until about halfway through the campaign. Conklin was able to rack up several victories that season, but after that point, when we switched to the Next Gens initially, he was no longer a championship threat and fell out of contention. But tonight, he finds himself as the championship favorite, has won 5 races this season, and now looks to have only 11 complete laps to go from this point onward, as he'll come down to the line once again, a dozen remaining right now. How about we take one more away from that and make it only 11 laps to go here in Las Vegas? James Thurston not going to make it easy, as you'll see now. Thurston's trying to get up to the back bumper, and the championship race spoiler, the best to do it in that regard, is now on the back bumper of Sean Conklin, and is hoping to take this win away as soon as possible. Right on board once again here with James Thurston, and you'll see how he tries to make the move around, as in the very, very final laps of this race, the final laps of this season, once again Thurston is in contention and wants to make something happen here. Going down to the bottom side, there goes Sean Conklin. Thurston otherwise is going to stay exactly where he is, and is going to let the momentum take him down the straight. Has a lot more speed as they'll go into turns 3 and 4. Goes right down low. Conklin is now neck and neck. They'll be sideways, beating and banging, bit of touching once again, and it's door to door when they come down the line to make it 9 laps to go. Thurston's got the lead though, and the inside line is his. That's a big advantage in a 1 and 2. However, it could be Conklin once again using that middle groove to his advantage, as they'll be side by side all over again. Conklin's got the race lead now. Thurston's going to be in second, and River Page, who's pulled himself back up into the top 3, is going to be right there as well, and all of a sudden, 3 drivers have an opportunity for the race victory. Conklin's got the edge for now, but it doesn't mean it's all said and done as they come across the line once again for what will be 8 laps to go. The final laps have come down to this point, and there are still multiple drivers looking for a chance to go through and win. Conklin's got the lead though, and it's going to be now Thurston and River Page looking on both sides of this number 54. Thurston's got the high side, and now he looks to go low, going right through River Page, and just like that, River moves back to third, at least for the time being, and it looks like River's going to give a fight down at the bottom once again. Everyone fighting in the dying laps, as it's going to be Conklin who has the edge. 94 laps in, it's still Sean up in front. Rest of the field has largely been able to separate themselves. Aiden Walker is running in 4th, Henry Kaloff runs in 5th, with Casey Benston in 6th, and Alexander Balderas is 7th, and the final man on the lead lap. This battle though, the podium, all have a chance to come home with the win, but we know now that Sean Conklin, understanding his circumstance, would love to come through and get it done as a champion. Look on the back bumper once again here, as you'll see River and Thurston are still there. And now River coming down to the bottom side, looking even lower than Conklin is with 5 laps remaining, is going to be able to make that move and get right under at the line side by side. Page has a minor advantage down low, and he'll be able to use that cut distance to barely take the lead. But Conklin's got that second groove, and he's going to try to use it to have that momentum. River slightly shifts up, tries to counteract that speed, but it's going to give James Thurston a shot down low. Thurston takes it 3 wide, and with 5 laps to go, go this season, James Thurston takes the lead once again. Now the number 4 machine gets right back where he was to start the night, and your pole sitter who got things going nearly 100 laps to go finds himself with a lead all over again. 5 laps to go, now comes down to only 4 laps remaining, and all of a sudden it's going to be the Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports crew up in front. First and second for a brief moment, Conklin put in the wall, and now he's in third. For a brief moment it looked to be a spot lost. Page gonna weave and bob, gives Conklin that catbird seat right back. 4 laps to go, make it 3 this time by Sean Conklin is in the wall this time, and back for certain. Now Page goes up top, makes it neck and neck again, and it looks like Thurston is now going to run away and has an opportunity to do so with Conklin getting distracted here. 3 laps to go, and for James Thurston up in front now, it's going to be a very challenging pursuit for Page or Conklin to get back up in front to this number 4. Now, the driver well known for finishing off these seasons with victories. He did so in the FORL Cup Series, got it done in dominant fashion at Homestead. He's pulled through this season in the IORA Cup Series, and most recently got victory lane, of course, at Michigan, his 2nd win on the campaign. 2 wins so far, and looking for 3, James Thurston will be set to go back to victory lane and your season 3 champion. A very respectable campaign here, as he now only has less than a lap to go when he crosses the start finish line. 1 lap to go in season 4 as James Thurston makes it across the stripe, and the white flag is out here in Sin City. For Thurston, he is set to take the checkered flag, but just a few moments behind. Sean Conklin is there waiting in the wings, the most dominant driver all season long, just moments behind your leader. He's won 5 times this season and has been, above all else, the most consistent and most competitive driver all season long. Page in the wall, and Conklin will be wrecking at the line. Thurston wins, and your champion will burn it down at the stripe. Sean Conklin is your season 4 IORA Cup Series champion, and he gets it done, destroyed at the line. Conklin celebrates early, but it pays off. The number 54, the dark horse, will complete the championship drive. Sean Conklin is an IORA Cup Series champion, and already the motor appears to be in shambles. Conklin begins the celebration. Thurston has won, and just like that, burning down the house, Conklin will come back to the line to celebrate with race winner James Thurston. And the most successful season, the most dominant season we've seen in the IORA Cup Series, this number 54 had the field and took him for a ride all year long. Everyone burning it down on the front straightaway. Sean Conklin celebrating a championship, and he has it after, of course, over a season and a half of attempting, making the moves, improving as a driver, and he showed everyone this season he was the quickest of the quick. Conklin is a champion of the IORA Cup Series, and now backs it down to the front stretch in Las Vegas as the burnout continues. Sean Conklin and the Dark Horse crew have come home with a title, and the celebration will keep on going. Season 3 champion James Thurston congratulates the next driver to pull through with the title, and the 2 champions come down to the start-finish line to celebrate together. At long last, Sean Conklin has been crowned an IORA Cup Series champ, the 3rd driver ever to do so, and he had to race amongst the legends of this league to acquire such a title. James Thurston has concluded his celebration as well, and as such, we've wrapped up a successful season 4. The track is empty here in the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we've found ourselves a winner and a champion all the same. Your winner tonight James Thurston, Season 3 champion, posts home one more win, his third of the campaign, as he wins from 1.5 seconds behind. It's River Page spinning at the line. Sean Conklin comes home in third as your champion, and Aiden Walker posts through for fourth, with Henry Caloff fifth, Alexander Belair sixth, Casey Bentz in seventh, and Oliver Quinney then in eighth. And then from there, Vincent Guecci ninth, and Michael Cormetis in 10th, with Daniel Mosteller retiring early, finishing 11th and last on the day. And way to end it, of course, fighting against the best in this field history. James Thurston once again posts through with a win. Sean Conklin will get it done with, of course, the championship, and two of the biggest goals accomplished for these two drivers. They both won championships now, and another driver has made IORA history. But we will first talk to your race-winning driver after tonight's event. James Thurston has gotten it done, and as such is again your winner after a long-fought, hard-fought night in Sin City. Las Vegas, you finally pulled through and won here in Nevada. James Thurston, to end the season, you come home with the checkered flag. How do you feel wrapping out the campaign with such a successful run?
Yeah, that was just a fun race there right at the end. We were all on different strategies on tires. Conk had 2 lap older tires, and he had 1 lap older tires, and River had, and I just had the newest tires. So honestly, all I knew is that I needed to just push as hard as I could to get there. And yeah, we got there, and we battled really hard, and about made it past for 3 wide down the back straightaway, and we took it home. So just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports, and yeah, that was a fun race. I can't wait for the next season of IORA next year.
And a great way to end the campaign for Thurston and this entire number 4 team. We've seen last season the champion. This year you should be coming through at least third in the point standings. So another successful campaign overall. When you look back on it, is there anything more you'd like to sort of reflect upon in regards to how the season went, and of course ending on such a successful note?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I could have done better. Few races I could have finished better in that I just didn't finish good in because of, just dumb things like pitting when there was an overtime, or I pit too long when there was an overtime and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, we won it last year. We got to let someone else win it. But yeah, we wait, what'd you say? I got third in the championship.
And looking at the numbers here, if Daniel Mosteller, of course, didn't really race tonight, you should be third.
I don't know. I know it was kind of close. I'm not sure if there was enough people for me to get there or not. But third or fourth, whatever it is, just an overall good season, and hopefully next season just make less mistakes.
And we're looking forward to what is next year. Of course, Season 5, going to be some big changes. Our first season with the Xfinity cars coming up. Going to be a much different package, and a lot of drivers especially excited on using some of the best stock cars on iRacing. How is it going to feel, of course, when you pull through and get back at it with what will be, hopefully, another exciting season and maybe a chance at a championship?
It's going to be nice to actually save tires instead of just push and then kind of be confused when, the right rear just magically becomes the slickest thing known to man. But, I don't know. We'll see. I think those cars are going to be great to race on at most tracks, and hopefully it'll be good for this league.
And we would love to see even more out of the IORA Cup Series as James Thurston pulls through after 65 laps in front. It's the Ford Mustang who ends the season in victory lane. Thurston will get it done. Anything else you'd like to add after this season?
Just, again, thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports. Congrats to Conklin on the championship. And, yeah, just thanks to everyone who raced this season.
And there we have it. James Thurston ends the campaign in victory lane, taking a gamble and hitting the jackpot in Las Vegas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And James Thurston will move him back into his voice chat and get your second place driver on the day, River Page, who just barely got there in the runner-up spot at the end. And for Page, came down to a last lap pass at the tail end of the night. Second place after a win at Martinsville last week. Successful way to end the season for you and the number 24 team, River Page. How you feeling after this race?
That was a lot of fun, honestly. Just a good way to close out the season. I think we got second in points because Demos had to go do his little little drive smart thing. But yeah, that was fun. I'm just glad we got to battle it out so closely. Jim and Conk always put on great competition, especially a track like this where we get to stay so close. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just it feels good. I wish I could have beaten Conk, of course, in the points, but he's just too good.
And tonight, really a close battle between you, Conklin, and Thurston. When it came down to strategy, so close between the three of you, and it looks like even the last lap was in contention till the very end. So what was it like fighting amongst the best in this field, trying to get a chance at victory lane, knowing how tough it was to make any passes, and you guys were going back and forth?
It's hard to pass here. You got to get on someone's outside, and once someone gets around your, it gets on your right, where you can't really defend it. So I mean, it was fun. Yeah, it was just good, clean racing. At the end, I kind of just, I was gonna finish second or third out of the way, so I just kind of didn't lift. But it was all fine. Like we were all having a good time. We didn't really care because the points were kind of set from that. So it was fun. The strategy was, I just assumed that it would be like undercutting a little bit because overcutting with this car doesn't work. There's not enough pace fall off. I throttle tried it, and he ended up like almost a lap down. But Conk pit, and then I pit, and then James pit, and we all ended up bumper to bumper again. Conklin didn't really know whether he should push or save. He tried to save a little bit, and me and Thurston just hauled it up to him, and it didn't really end up the amount that he tried to save didn't really do anything. So I think strategy's not that important with this car, but next season it's gonna play a huge factor in all the races for sure.
And next season going to be a much different style of driving using these Xfinity machines. We've seen how quick you are in those. Of course, most recently, when we last broadcasted on Saturday, it's going to be a very exciting package to watch. And a lot of drivers are, of course, very excited to see what's next. How's it going to be for you adapting to go for the next gens to these Xfinity cars as we see another season come by with another new package?
I'm pretty good at both cars, I like to think, but I think there's some tracks that I'm better at than others with each car. I think I'll have a better time with the Xfinity car, though, especially at super speedways. I know that package is really fun to drive. I mean, the next gen is too. They're both fun cars to drive. It's just the dirty air is a huge issue with the next gen, and we won't have to deal with that as much. It's always going to be prominent with any car. But yeah, it's exciting. I think the majority of people in here prefer the Xfinity, so it's gonna be fun.
And hoping to see another successful campaign here. River Page pulling through, runner-up in the point standings, and you came through second tonight. Anything else you'd like to add finishing the season here in Las Vegas?
Just thanks to you for broadcasting as per usual, and for Mason for putting on the races, and for my mom for sponsoring the league, and congratulations to Conklin and Demos for first and third, and for Thurston, who missed some races and still ended up, I think, like 7 points behind me. So just congrats to everyone. Didn't have that many people show up for the last races, but they were still really fun. So yeah.
And a fantastic way to end the year here for River Page. Second place run here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Now with River Page on the way, only one more driver to talk to tonight, and that is, of course, your champion. Third place on the day for Sean Conklin. He started on pit road, but from there on out became absolutely, once again, one of the quickest in the field and showed why he is your season 4 champion. The number 54 team have been dominant since the opening race of the season. From Daytona onward, this campaign seemed to be unstoppable. Sean Conklin, you pulled through for Season 4 with dominance and consistency, and you are our Season 4 champion. Joining the ranks of only James Thurston and Daniel Mosteller, come through and made it happen when it mattered the most. How does it feel pulling through at the end of 15 races this season?
Oh, it feels really good. That was a fun race in the end. Wish we could have gotten the win, but I pulled off a tire strategy. It was either gonna work or it wasn't, and it didn't. So I was going for the win. If I would have played it smart, I probably would have had a better chance of the win. But I wanted to try the risky strategy, and it didn't really work out. Just tires were older and heated up more, and just didn't really work out. But Yeah, it was a really fun battle. I mean, it was only 3 cars there at the front, but that was probably the best battle all season. So, yeah, really excited to get the championship here. And we failed at it last year, and came back this year and got it. So, pretty happy about that.
And that's the big thing that we saw, of course, with this season compared to last. You came through, and from the beginning at Daytona, out the gate, the fastest driver almost week in, week out, and nobody seemed to have that pace to keep up with you consistency. So when it comes to that consistency, of course, how was it turning over from season 3 and sort of taking a break in terms of full-time competition for a few months and then coming back and focusing on the improvements that had to be made and making sure everything was taken care of to become just about the quickest driver almost every week, no matter what?
Yeah, it's just keep preparing for these races, and I didn't have some weeks I don't have much time to prepare, and you don't really know what to expect, like, because I run open all the time with Ryko Performance, and which just so much different in open compared to these fixed setups. Like, some of the strategies you do in open do not carry over into fixed, and it's all because of the setup. It's a big change. It's actually kind of hard to get used to, but yeah, we were pretty dominant each and every week, and some weeks we were handicapped and we came back to a decent finish, and other weeks when we weren't, we were able to get up towards the front and compete for the win, and sometimes get a win, and sometimes just come short. But yeah, it's been a good season, been really good fun, and happy to win it.
We've seen how many times you've come down to victory lane this season. 5 you got through with, not to mention just about podium after podium almost every week, including tonight, and we saw a fair share of runner-up finishes there too. So how important was it for you to just stay in that podium, knowing the level of competition and how close it was, given it was a full point format for every race? Everything mattered.
Yeah, that was the big key, is just you gotta get those good finishes. Like, with these this full point season, you can get 5 wins, but you wreck the rest of the races. It doesn't matter. So my goal was just to get good finishes and keep up there in the points, and just keep looking at it each and every week, seeing where I'm at, knowing where I have to finish for that week, and just keep moving on. And that brought us all the way here. And I knew I didn't have to win the race, so I went for a bit of a risky strategy to try to make sure I'd win it. But like I said, this fixed set, it winds up driving so much different that some of those strategies don't work, and it did not work tonight. So, and we didn't need to win. So I tried it, didn't work. Oh well. We're still ahead in the points, and we still got the championship, and that's all that matters.
And the championship is yours. Now, Sean Conklin, up next, we move on to the Xfinity cars, and we've seen how the support for these Xfinity machines has grown season over season. For the first time in IORA Cup Series history, we will begin to use them. You think you have a chance at adapting and maybe going back to back?
Yeah, I'm starting to learn a little bit about the V car. In the beginning of the season, I would expect I'm not, like, competing for, like, I'm not gonna be, like, right up there having a battle for the win, just because I don't really race that car. But we're gonna try to get used to it here, and over the course of racing this season, next season is gonna help me learn it, and hopefully we'll be there by the end.
I was hoping to be there by the end, but this season, there from start to finish. Sean Conklin getting it done. Victory lane. You might have not found it tonight as a driver in this race, but the championship means that much more. The 54 crew gets it done. And Sean, is there anything else you'd like to add to finish off this incredible campaign?
No, that's it. Just shout out to Ryko Performance, and thank you guys for broadcasting this each and every week. And yeah, been a good season.
And there we have it. Sean Conklin, your Season 4 champion, pulls through with a podium finish and collects the title at the end of the season. Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Now it's Sean Conklin on the move. It's the number 54 who gets it done, and your champion has been crowned. Conklin will win the title here in Season 4 and concludes an incredible campaign in the IORA Cup Series. From start to finish, competitive racing, high-octane action, and a champion, of course, putting through so many fantastic performances worthy of the crown when all is said and done. With Conklin's championship, this concludes our broadcasting schedule for 2023 and ends on a high note here live on FTN. If you're watching right now, stay tuned to our Twitter pages as we will begin announcing iRacing giveaway codes, as we have several that we are waiting to give away iRacing memberships to end 2023. We thank you all for your immense support live on FTN. I've been David Kreutz, your commentator and producer for tonight's event, and we hope you all tune in to 2024, where we hope to bring even more fantastic racing action to you live on FTN. This has been a production of the IORA Cup Series and the Season 4 finale 150. We hope you enjoyed tonight's event, and we hope to see you in Season 5 when we get back to racing in the middle of February. Thank you all for your support and your viewership of this series, and we will see you all when we return to action in 2024. I've been David Kreutz from the Fireball Talks NASCAR crew. We thank you all for your time, and we hope you have a fantastic night.